Thank you. Yeah. So what we have is that omega subset of r power n open and bounded is there. So dou omega is a ck function. Okay. When do I say a ck function? So for any x naught in omega, okay, if I take any x naught in omega, dou omega, then the axis r, okay, the axis r such that I can find a bulk here. Okay, find a bulk here, and the axis is a ck function. Okay, ck function gamma, which is the mapping from r power n minus 1 to r, which should satisfy this one. So if I take a dou omega intersection b of x naught comma r, this for all x belongs to b of x naught comma r, this should satisfy, because this x naught is not only part of this one, it is part of this omega also. So therefore, it is a n-dimensional ball is going to be there. Therefore, x is going to have n coordinate is going to be there, x1, x2, etc. xn is going to be there. This xn, because I'm just having a mapping gamma, this xn should be greater than or equal to gamma of x1, x2, xn minus 1. Suppose instead of this xn, suppose I have something x1 is itself is greater than, then in that case, what you need to do is that you need to relabel your things or reorient that in such a way that you will get that. Okay, you can do that. For example, if I have x1 square plus x2 square is my two-dimensional case, and I have something like x1 is greater than or equal to some gamma of x1. Okay, in this one, okay, this is my circle. In this circumference, suppose I want to take, suppose what I expect is that I expect x2 greater than or equal to gamma of x1. But if it is not there, what you do? You just reorient that. Okay, change the x-axis as y-axis and y-axis as x-axis, or x1 as x2 and x2 as x1. So automatically you will get again the similar kind of function. So which should satisfy this one, x2 greater than or equal to gamma of x1. Okay, if that is existing, then I call this dou omega as a ck function. Okay, this dou omega is called as a ck function. Okay. So these are all the setup I have. So suppose if it is not there, I can reorient and relabel everything I can do, and then I can do that. Now we are going to use these concepts. Okay, for the rest of the things, I will assume that this is going to be there. Okay, so if it is, if I take any ball which is satisfying this condition, I will be taking mostly. Okay, the dou omega I will be taking as a ck function in the rest of the cases mostly. So then one more thing, normal derivative we have already discussed in one of the classes, but again I'll just repeat that. So dou u by dou nu. Okay, dou u by dou nu is nothing but nu dot du, which is nothing but the normal derivative. So suppose I have a domain omega, okay, and this is my dou omega. Dou omega is the boundary. Then what I'm going to do is that I'm going to take the normal derivative. So this normal derivative is dou u by dou nu. I'm going to take. Okay, u is the function. So dou u by dou nu is the normal derivative. That means you take nu dot du. That nu is nothing but the normal. Okay, nu is nothing but the unit normal pointing outward. This is nothing but my. So suppose I have a point here. So this is nothing but my nu. Okay, nu is the pointing outward. Unit normal pointing outward. Okay, so then in that case, this is called normal derivative. This is called normal derivative. So normal derivative is defined as nu dot du. Okay, where du you already know. Du means you take the total derivative of that one. Okay, where u belongs to some c1 of omega bar. Okay, and dou omega is a c1. Okay, dou omega is a c1 function. Means you can just refer the previous definition. The definition one. What is c1 means? You can just do in the place of k. You can just put that x1. It is going to satisfy that condition. Okay, ck function. Okay. Next one. So that means in this one, what is c1 means? C1 is nothing but my gamma is a c1 function. Okay, that's all. The ck function means gamma is a ck function, c1 function. That's all. Okay, so these are all some of the other preliminaries which I leave it to you as an exercise. Okay, you can just solve that. What you have is that suppose u belongs to c1 of omega bar. Okay, then integral u xi ds dx is going to be integral dou omega. So this is over omega dou omega u nu I ds. Okay, this is I left it as an exercise. So you can just verify that uxi dx is going to be dou omega u nu I ds is going to be there. Similarly, next part also I'm just going to leave it as an exercise because you can straight away get it from the integration by parts. Okay, you know the integration by parts for the one-dimensional case mostly. That you can extend it for the n-dimensional case. So uxi nu dx, that is going to be minus integral omega u. Sorry, one second. You know this formula. Okay, I'll just explain it in the 1D case, then you can go for that. So you know this formula u dv. Okay, u dv, you know. How do you calculate the u dv? U dv is nothing but uv, you can write it as uv minus vdu. Correct? You can change that. Now same thing we are going to do here. So this uv, suppose if I have something like a to b, here you will have something like surface integral, a to b will be there. Okay, and here you will be having a to b. Same thing I'm going to do that. Okay, so now I'm going to extend this. I'm going to extend this one. What I'm going to do, I'm going to have u integral omega u xi into v dx. Okay, so this part you can consider u xi dx, that is nothing but kind of dv. So that is going to be minus integral u, I'm just going to throw the derivative from here to here. Okay, uv xi, that's what we do, right? So u dv, you can write it as uv minus v du. That means this will go here and d will be going here. Same thing I'm doing here. Okay, so this will go here, this is going to come here, and this is going to be thrown over there, v of xi into dx. Okay, plus I will have this term which is called the boundary part. Okay, so that is going to become like integral u v nu I ds. So nu I means it is the surface integral, it is the normal derivative in the ith direction. Okay, only in the ith direction I'm going to dou omega, this is omega. So this is the complete integral, this is the boundary part. Okay, so that's what we have, integration by parts, where I equal to 1 to n. Okay, so this is also from this one almost similar kind of things you can derive it very easily. And this part also I will leave it as an exercise. This is called Green's formula. Okay, we are going to use this to solve the problem. Okay, these are a very simple one. What you got to do is that you got to use the basic idea of the integration, and then you can get it. Okay, so one of them will be in the midterm exam at least. Okay, one of this identity to prove. Okay, so now what we are going to do is that we are going to get one more identity which is called Green's formula. Okay, Green's formula. So here what we are going to do is that same thing. Okay, almost same thing what you did in the using the previous two theorems, you can prove this one also. So integral del u dx equal to integral, this is over omega, this is going to be over dou omega, is going to be dou u by dou nu into ds is going to be there. Okay, same way second identity du dot dv dx is going to be minus u into del v dx plus integral dou u by dou nu into u ds. Again, you can use the integration by parts, and then you will get this one. Okay, now I just combine this. So this one, this is going to become like, so I just combine from 1 and 2, you can get the third one. So what you are going to get is that u del v. Okay, so I'm just going to use this one, u del v minus v del u dx. So you can apply that. Okay, u del v, you can just get that du dot dv into dou u by dou nu minus dou u by dou nu into uds is going to come. Similarly, change this one, then automatically these values are going to be swapped, then you will get that. Okay, so you will get that dv dot du nu is going to come. This third one is very straightforward if you use this one. Okay, so u del v dx is going to be this side, then du minus dv dot dx is going to be other side. Okay, minus is going to be there, and dou u by dou nu is going to be there. Now wherever u is there, u and v just interchange. One more identity will get in a similar way. Now subtract it, then you will get this answer. Okay, that is going to become like integral u dou v by dou nu minus v dou u by dou nu ds. Okay, this is over omega, this is over dou omega. Similarly, this is over omega, this is over omega, this is over dou omega. Okay, so this is straightforward from this one. These two are also like using the previous one, you can get it. Okay, del u by del x, del u into dx, you can get it from the uxi thing. Okay, uxi dx is there, right? So you apply that over here. Del u is nothing but uxi, xi is going to come. So you can apply that integration by parts, you apply it. Okay, where what you can do is that, sorry. Yeah, so uxi, del u is nothing but you can just calculate what is uxi, xi. Okay, uxi, xi you can calculate. Okay, uxi, xi you can calculate like use this one. Okay, uxi v dx formula, use it, and then you can get that. Okay, so that is one thing. So that means I can just write it as uxi, xi, okay, dx, and then use one of this formula, and then you can get the right hand side. Okay, either 1 and 2, you can use that. Then you will get this one very straightforward. Okay, similarly for this one, use the 1 and this formula, then you will get the answer. Okay, I just leave it to you as an exercise, just explore it. Okay, so this one, we are going to use it for some of the founding, some basics for solving the wave equation, because we are going to convert this into Euler-Terbox equation. So this Green's formula, integration by parts, this theorem, last 3 theorems will be used repeatedly to get the answers for this one. Now what I have is that from the previous one, what I have is that omega del u dx equal to integral over dou omega dou u by dou nu into ds is that. What I'm going to do, in the place of omega, I'm replacing with p of x comma r. Then this is going to become like dou b of x comma r. Okay, in the place of omega, I'm just replacing. That's all. Nothing much. So now what I'm going to calculate, what is the, I'm just going to put a bar here and then going to check what is going to be there. So dou b of x comma r means average integral I'm going to take dou e by dou nu into ds. What is the definition for that? The average integral definition is that whatever is here, you have to put it over the right hand side, f ds. Okay, so f in the place of f, what I have dou u by dou nu. Okay, so I'll just replace that. So dou u by dou nu into ds is going to be there over dou b of x comma r. In addition, I have a term. The term is 1 by n power alpha, 1 by n into alpha n r power n minus 1 is going to be there. So 1 by n into alpha of n r power n minus 1. Okay, here also I did not do anything, just use the definition of that. Okay, so this is going to become like, I can just write it as 1 by n into alpha of n r power n minus 1. Now I know this one, dou b of x comma r is this one. Okay, this is going to become like integral over b of x comma r, this one. So del u dx is going to be there. Okay, so this one I can rewrite it as r by n. Okay, so therefore this is going to become like r by n into 1 by alpha of n into r power n. So I'm just multiplying and dividing by r power n. Therefore it is going to become like r by n into 1 by alpha of n r power n into b of x comma r del u dx. But what is this one? This part is nothing but, you can just see that. You can see from the previous one. Okay, so this is nothing but the average of this one. Okay, average of whatever is inside. So this I can write as r by n into bar b of x comma r del u dx. Just remember that without bar both are equal. With the bar you will get one extra term which is going to be r by n. Okay, r by n is going to come there. Okay, without bar nothing will come. Without bar just a 1 here. With the bar means here whatever I have, there will be a r by n is going to come. Or you can write it as integral over, so this bar del u dx is going to be n by r into dou u by dou n is going, dou nu is going to come. So depending on the situation, we'll use it accordingly. Okay, next one. So as I mentioned, we are converting the problem. We are going to convert the problem from x coordinate, means in the r power n x to the polar format you are going to consider. So for which I'm going to consider r is equal to norm of x. Okay, or that means it is going to be square root of summation I equal to 1 to n mod xi square. Xi square. I can put mod xi square also, but it doesn't matter because I'm in r power n. Okay, where x is not equal to 0. Okay, x is not equal to 0. So in that case, if I have a u of x, okay, e of x, I'm just going to convert this problem into v of r. Okay, I'm just going to convert that problem, change of variable. So that will be converted into v of r problem. So let us find what is the relations between this x and v. Okay, so dou r by dou xi. What is going to be dou r by dou xi? So this is the r definition. So that is going to become like 1 by square root of whatever I have, summation I equal to 1 to n xi square. Okay, because the square root is there, 2. Okay, 1 by square root of 2 into summation xi square into, I'm going to have this one. So with respect to xi only I'm going to do. So 2xi is going to come. So 2 gets cancelled. So I'm going to get xi divided by square root of I equal to 1 to n xi square is going to come, but that is nothing but r, so xi by r is going to come. So therefore, what is uxi? Uxi is nothing but dou u by dou xi, that I can write it as dou u by dou r. Okay, but what is this is going to be, u is going to be function of x, so it is going to be b of r. So therefore, I'm going to write it as dou v by dou r. Okay, dou v by dou r into dou r by dou xi. Okay, so that is going to be dou v by dou r, or I can write as v dash of r here, because v is a function of only one variable, r is going to be there, r is a real number. Okay, so v dash of r into xi by r. Okay, it is a function of single parameter. Okay, just here it is a vector, here it is a single parameter. Okay, therefore this I can write as v dash of r. V dash means it is nothing but dv by dr. Okay, v dash means dv by dr into xi by r. This is dou r by dou xi. Now same way I can write as dou square r by dou xi square. That is going to become like dou by dou xi into dou r by dou xi. Okay, so that I can write it as dou r by dou xi already I know. Okay, so dou r by dou xi is nothing but xi by r. So this is going to become like dou by dou xi into xi by r. So I can do the same thing again. Okay, so you can use the u by v rule. So you are going to get r minus xi into dou r by dou xi divided by r square is going to come. Okay, so this is going to become like 1 by r minus this is already xi, dou r by dou xi I can use that. So that is going to become like xi square. So it is going to become like xi square by r is going to come. Already r square is there. So xi square by r cube. Okay, this is dou square r by dou xi. Now what I have to do, I got to calculate my uxi xi. Okay, why am I going to do all these things? We will see that at the end. Something we are going to achieve it. Okay. So next one, I got to calculate my uxi xi. Okay, that is nothing but dou square u by dou xi square. That is going to be dou square dou by dou xi of dou u by dou xi. Okay, so that I can use it as, I know like dou u by dou xi is nothing but v dash of r into xi by r. So that I'm going to write as dou by dou xi of dou v by dou r into xi by r. Okay, no, sorry, yeah, correct only. So dou u by dou xi I'm going to use it. Okay, dou u by dou xi is nothing but dou v by dou r into dou r by dou xi. Yeah, this one. Okay, so then again I will use that. Okay, dou by dou xi definition I will use it. So that is going to become like dou by dou xi of dou by dou xi, right? So it is going to become like I got to multiply dou by dou r. Okay, dou by one second. Dou by dou xi of dou v by dou r by dou xi is going to be there. So I got to change the variable. So it is going to become like dou v by dou xi of dou by dou r. Then yeah, correct. So dou by dou xi of, I'm using the u by uv rule. So dou v by dou r into dou r by dou xi plus use that over there. So this is going to become like dou v by dou r into dou square r by dou xi square. Okay, so that is going to become like, this is going to become like dou by dou xi of dou v by dou r I got to calculate. So dou by dou xi of dou v by dou r, again I got to use that. So this is going to become like dou by dou r of, okay, this is going to become like dou v by dou r, okay, into dou r by dou xi. So here xi is there, I got to change it into again r. So therefore you are going to multiply another dou r by dou xi, so it is going to come. So dou r by dou xi square plus this is going to become like dou v by dou r plus dou square r by dou xi square we already calculated. That is going to be 1 by r minus xi square by r cube. Okay, so this one I can write as dou by dou r of v dash of r. So this is v dash of r, again I'm going to take, so v double dash of r is going to come. Okay, into dou r by dou xi is nothing but here xi square by r square. Okay, plus this is going to be v dash of r into 1 by r into minus xi square by r cube. Okay, why are we going to do all these things? Let us see. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to calculate what is my du. Okay, du is nothing but ux1, ux2, ux3, etc., etc. uxn is going to be there. So therefore, I already know what is my uxi. Okay, therefore it is going to become like v dash of r by r into x1, x2, etc. xn is going to come. Okay, so that is nothing but v dash of r by r. This is nothing but my x. Okay, now same way I'm going to use this one to obtain what is my delta u. Delta is nothing but summation uxi xi. Okay, uxi xi. So therefore this one I am going to use it as v double dash of r into, so this is going to become like summation xi square by r square, okay, plus v dash of r into, this is going to be n by r, okay, because I'm just summing it up 1 by r, and minus, this is going to become like summation xi square. I'm going to put it, okay, I'll put it as it is, summation xi square by r cube. Okay, but what is summation xi square? That is nothing but r square. Okay, summation xi square is r square. So r square gets cancelled. So it is going to become like v double dash of r. And this is v dash of r. This is going to be n by r. Okay, and this is going to be again r square. So r square by r cube. So it is going to become like r. So this is going to become like v dash of r into n minus 1 by r. Okay, so the del u becomes this one, v double dash of r into plus v dash of r into n minus 1 by r. Okay, so with this we are going to solve something. Okay, that is the thing called Euler-Turbox equation. We are going to solve it. Let us see that. So what we are going to do is that we are now assuming, so we already solved n equal to utt is equal to uxx case we have solved. Now what I'm going to take is that I'm going to take n greater than 2, means my domain is going to be n dimensional subspace where n is greater than or equal to 2. I'm going to take it, and my u is belonging to Cm power r where m is also greater than or equal to 2, which is going to solve this initial value problem. Okay, means the wave equation utt minus del u equal to 0. Okay, and u equal to f and ut equal to g. So this we have already seen. Okay, this we have solved it for using different formulas for simple cases. Now we are going to obtain it for the n-dimensional case using this method called using the spherical means which we have solved. That is going to be useful for them. So first what we need to do, what is the general idea to solve this problem is using the spherical mean is that first you need to first understand the average of u. Okay, first understand the average of u over a sphere of radius r. Okay, so in order to solve this one, what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to take a point here and I'm going to consider a sphere. Okay, I will understand what is the u of b of x comma r over the sphere. I will understand. Okay, over a sphere of radius r I will obtain. Then I'm going to obtain a equation called Euler-Poisson-Turbox equation. I will explain that what is the Euler-Poisson-Turbox equation. Almost similar kind of setup is going to come. Okay. Then what you need to do, this is going to become like a one-dimensional equation. It will convert it into a wave equation in one-dimensional wave equation. Okay, for r end, this will convert it into one-dimensional wave equation. Then you can use the D'Alembert's formula, whatever we applied in the last classes. That is going to be solved. Then automatically this problem is going to be solved. Okay, that is the idea. So the idea is that you have a domain. Okay, for this domain, I'm not going to solve this blankly. I'm just going to take an average. Okay, I will take a sphere of radius r. So in that I can apply the polar coordinate system, etc., and I will obtain the answers for this one. So once I obtain this one, then I can just put it for every places. I can put some small sphere, and then I can obtain the average of that. That is going to be the answers for me. Okay, so that's what we are going to do in the next 20 minutes. Okay, so what I'm going to do, the spherical means whatever we learn, I'm just going to introduce a new thing. So I'm going to, hereafter I'll be dealing with capital U, okay, instead of small u. So if I solve the capital U, which is going to be the average of this average of the small u over this ball, okay, then this is or the surface of the one, then I'm going to obtain the answers for the capital U. That capital U is going to be solved. That automatically gives the answers for me in the small u. Okay, so my problem is on small u, I got to solve it. But in order to solve this one, I will convert this into some average I will be taking. That I'm going to call it as capital U. Then I will convert it into a one-dimensional wave equation. If I solve this one-dimensional wave equation, automatically that is going to be solved. Okay. So my problem, what I got to solve is that I got to solve this problem utt minus del u equal to 0. This problem I got to solve u equal to f and ut is equal to g. Okay. Assume the appropriate domain where x belongs to r power n. Okay. Here also you can just see the domain. Okay. X belongs to the domain comma t equal to 0. Similarly, ut equal to 0. G is there. So this is the equation we are going to solve. Okay, this equation we are going to solve. Okay, this is r power n. In both cases, r power n cross 0. Okay, this problem I'm going to solve. I'm not going to solve this problem. I'm going to convert this problem into on a ball I will be taking, and then I'm going to solve a capital U. That is going to give me the answers for me. Okay, so x belongs to r power n. If x belongs to r power n and t greater than 0, what I'm going to define is that I'm going to define a thing called u of x comma r t. Sorry, u of semicolon is here. U of x semicolon r comma t. So this I'm going to define. So how am I going to define? I'm going to define dou b of x comma r, average integral. Okay, u of y comma t into d dsy. This average. Okay, this is the average of u of x comma t over the sphere dou b of x comma r. Okay, so now similarly you can do the same thing. So capital F of x comma r comma t, x comma r comma t, I can do the same thing. So dou b of x comma r, okay, average f of y comma t, d of s comma y, d of sy. Same way you can do for the g also. Okay, you are going to tell. Similarly g. Okay, same thing. G will be small g will come here. Okay, so same thing. Now this is going to be transformed into a new problem. Okay, what it is going to come. So this one. Okay, one more thing. So this u of y comma t, I can write it in another way also. What I can do is that I can just instead of solving this problem on a arbitrary x comma r, okay, arbitrary x and arbitrary r, I'm going to solve the problem in 0 comma 1. Instead of that, I'm going to solve it in p of 0 comma 1. Then if I solve this problem without loss of generality, I can obtain the solutions in the x comma r also by doing some transformation. The transformation is very simple. Suppose I put y equal to x plus r z. Okay, if I put y equal to x plus r z, then I can just solve this problem in terms of z, where if I put z equal to 0, okay, if I put z equal to 0, what it is going to come? This is going to become like x is going to come. If I put so this is going to become like dou b of 0 comma 1. Completely, it is going to become like dou b of 0 comma 1. If I use the transformation y equal to x plus r z, okay, this is going to become like dou b of 0 comma 1 with u of x plus r z. Wherever y is there, I'm just replacing with r z. Okay, into d s z is going to come. Comma t is there here. Okay, so this problem b of x comma r, I'm just transforming into b of 0 comma 1. So this is going to be, if I put z equal to 0, it is going to become like x is going to be there. Okay, and this is going to be r is going to come. So if I put here r is set, so if x plus r is set, it is going to become like r means it is going to be the entire domain is going to this part is going to come. So they can appropriately choose this one, x plus r is set, is going to be transformed over here. Fine. So this is the transformation I have, y equal to x plus r is set. Now I made my problem very simple. So generally I had this one. Now I introduced this one. Okay, that is going to be solved on a b of x comma r. Now that also I am further simplifying into dou b of 0 comma 1. So hereafter mostly I'll be solving dou b of 0 comma 1, and then I can obtain that. So this is nothing but my u. Therefore, what is my u r is going to be? U r of x comma r comma t. That is going to be once again dou b of 0 comma 1. Okay, average. This is going to be du. Okay, this is going to be du of x plus r is set. Okay, with respect to r, I'm differentiating. Therefore, it is going to become like dot z is going to come. Okay, because r z is there into ds z. Okay, again, this one I can use the same transformation. Okay, change the y equal to x plus r z to again change it in the y direction. So in that case, means you can just use that in the other way. So z is going to become like y minus x by r. You can substitute over here. This is going to become like dou b of x comma r in that case. Okay, bar. Then du is going to be as it is. du. Okay, this is going to become like x plus r is that I'm going to substitute. So u of y is going to come into y minus x by r into dsy is going to come. Okay, now this one, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this definition. Du, this one I'm going to use it. Okay, so this one I'm going to use it. So du, I can write it as this is, sorry, not here. One second. Yeah. So this one, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to check what is the definition of this one. This is nothing but the definition of this one. What is dou u by dou nu? Dou u by dou nu is nothing but du dot nu. Okay. So if I take y minus x by r, this is going to be the tangents. Okay, the normal, sorry, the normal is going to come here. Okay, nu is going to be the normal is going to come. This is going to be y minus x by r, that is going to be the normal. Therefore, I can rewrite this one as this equation. I can rewrite it as this one. I can rewrite it as dou u by dou nu, okay, into dsy is going to come over dou b of x comma r. Okay. Now we know this answer already. What is this one? Dou u by dou nu dsy from this theorem. Dou u by dou nu dsy is nothing but integral over omega del u dx. Okay. So therefore I can substitute that. So that is going to become like r by n into b of x comma r del u dx. Why r by n? Why r by n is coming here? Because this theorem is talking about whole only. Okay, but we have already introduced here this one. Okay, so integral dou b of dou x by dou r, dou u by dou nu, dou b of x comma r ds is nothing but r by n into this one, r by n into b of x comma r del u dx. Okay, so that's what I have used. Okay, now another part I'm leaving it as an exercise. So what we have proved is that we have proved that u of x comma, sorry, ur of x comma r comma t is nothing but r by n into b of x comma r, okay, del u dx we have proved. Or del u dy, it doesn't matter. Okay, either you put y or x, it doesn't matter because it's a dummy variable. Now what is it going to come? This is going to, now I'm going to apply limit on both sides. Okay, limit r tends to 0 plus, limit on both sides. So in this case, what is it going to come? This is going to become like 0 because you can apply that r, you can just shrink the ball. This r is there, you shrink the balls very, very close to 0, r tends to 0. Then this is going to become like, because r by n is there, this is going to become 0. Okay, this is very simple one. So I have already obtained ur. Okay, ur I obtained ur of x comma r comma t is nothing but r by n into b of x comma r del u dy we have obtained. Okay, this one is nothing but 0. Okay, so br we have obtained. Now same way, what you can do is that you can apply urr. Once again you apply that, then you will get the answer for the other one also. So in this case, what you need to derive is that one part we got to use is that this part you got to use it. Okay, so this part, okay, this u del u by dou u by dou nu we have used, right? So this part once again you got to use it and then you can update it. That part I leave it as an exercise. Okay, so urr also you can obtain that in a similar way, and then you can prove that limit r tends to 0, urr x comma r comma t is also going to be there. So prove this one. I'll give it as an exercise, and this is going to be used for the next one. Okay, this we are going to use it for the next one called Euler-Terbox equation. Let us derive only this part and then let's complete the class. So this theorem, so these are all the preliminaries. Whatever we have discussed so far is the preliminary for this Euler-Terbox equation theorem. So this theorem, using the concepts which we have discussed so far, we can simply complete it quickly. Okay. So what we are going to do is that using these preliminaries, we are going to derive something called Euler-Poisson-Terbox equation. Okay. So if x belongs to r power n, okay, and u satisfy the equation, that is this equation, wave equation, this equation, okay, then u belongs to, okay, u satisfies wave equation, okay, u satisfies wave equation, and u belongs to, capital U belongs to Cm r plus bar, okay, into 0, infinity. Okay, in this domain it is there, and utt minus urr minus n minus 1 by r into ur equal to 0. u equal to f and ut is equal to g, capital ut equal to g. Okay. Here this urr plus n minus 1 ir ur, which is going to represent the real part of the Laplacian del in polar coordinates. Okay, this is going to be the real part in polar coordinates, because in the original equation you have utt minus del u equal to 0. Okay, corresponding to utt you have a capital utt, but for del u you have a extra term is there. So this is going to be the Laplacian part, radial part of the Laplacian. Okay, not the real, radial part of the Laplacian in polar coordinates. That is going to be there. Okay, this portion. So let us prove this theorem. Very simple. So we have already proved this one. Okay, well, already we have proved this one. That's very simple proof we have provided. So limit r tends to 0 plus. Okay, straightforward. It is coming. ur of x comma r comma t equal to 0. We have proved. Okay. Also, I have given an exercise which we have to prove it. So from this exercise, what we have is that limit r tends to 0 plus. Okay, this is also straightforward. You can prove it actually. If you derive the urr of x comma r comma t equal to 1 by n into del u of x comma t. Okay. So using these two, what we can compute this one. Similarly, you can compute urr, u triple r, u 4r, etc. etc. You can calculate, etc. You can calculate. Okay. So from here you can observe that. See, ur of x comma r comma t equal to 0. Okay, so therefore this is going to belong to Cm of r plus is going to be there. Similarly, urr r tends to 0 plus, it is going to be 1 by n del u x comma t, but u is already in c power m, so it is going to be satisfied. Okay, means c square it is already there. Similarly, u triple r you can calculate, u 4r you can calculate, etc. etc. So everything is going to depend on this u. So ultimately, what you are going to get is that you are going to calculate that u belongs to Cm, you can get it. Okay, until u is belong to c power m, we are going to get that. Now, what we are going to do is that we are going to use this one to prove that the wave equation is going to be solved. So let us prove that. So what is ur of x comma r comma t? Let us see ur of x comma r comma t, which we have already proved that r by n into r by n dou b of b of x comma r. Okay, del u dy. This we already know. Okay, but according to this one, utt minus del u equal to 0. Therefore, this one I can write as r by n b of x comma r average. Okay, that I can replace with utt. Okay, because in these settings, utt minus del u is going to be there. So that I am substituting. Therefore, this is going to become like I'm just rewriting this one. Okay, without average. So that is going to become like r by n into b of. So this part I can write as alpha of n, because I'm just taking out the average. Okay, alpha of n into r power n integral b of x comma r utt dy. I'm just removing that bar. Okay, so that I can write as 1 by n into r power n is there. So alpha n into r power n minus 1 is going to come, because r gets cancelled. So that is going to become like b of x comma r utt dy. Okay, so therefore what I'm going to get, so I can just write it as r power n minus 1, okay, into ur is going to become like 1 by n into alpha of n, okay, integral b of x comma r utt dy is going to come. Now we differentiate this with respect to r. What you are going to get? You are going to get r power n minus 1 ur, okay, of r equal to the other side. It is going to become like, because here no r is going to be involved over here, so you are going to get, it is going to become like 1 by, okay, sorry, r is involved here, so 1 by n into alpha of n is there. So if I take the integral of a volume integral, that is going to become like a surface integral. Therefore, this is going to become like dou b of x comma r. So the one change is that ty will become ds. Okay, so if you take a, so that is the fundamental theorem of calculus is saying. Okay, so if you take the what is the fundamental theorem of calculus is saying? So you get some f of b, boundary only will get it, right? Only on the boundary will get it. So integral a to b f of x dx, you will get it something like f of b minus f of a will come. Okay, this f is going to be depending on this f of x. Same thing is here. Okay, this is from the fundamental theorem of calculus. So it is going to say it is depending on the boundary only. So in case of n-dimensional case, the boundary is going to be the surface. This is the volume. This is going to become the surface. Okay, so that's what we are having. So therefore, what you are going to get, you now apply the right hand in the left hand side, you apply the R formula. So that is going to become like n minus 1 into R power n minus 2 into UR, okay, plus R power n minus 1 into URR, okay, UV rule. That is right hand side as it is. Okay, I'm not going to change anything. So that is going to become like I'm just going to multiply. And divide by R power n minus 1. Therefore, this is going to become like 1 by n into alpha of n into R power n minus 1. Okay, and multiply by R power n minus 1. Okay, and then this is going to become like UTT ds dou b of x comma r. Okay, so what is this one? This is going to become like, I can just write this as n minus, this is as it is, this is as it is. Okay, right hand side I'm just going to write as R power n minus 1 into this part. Okay, this part is going to be integral dou b of x comma r bar, okay, UTT into ds is going to be there. Okay, UTT ds is going to be there. So this one, as per the definition, okay, as per the definition of u of x comma r comma t, okay, using this one, what I can write it as, if it is u, I will get u, capital U is going to come. Here UTT is going to be that, therefore this is going to become like R power n minus 1 into UTT is going to come, capital UTT is going to come. Okay, using 4 I can get this one. Okay, wherever u is there, you will get capital U. Since UTT is there, it is going to become like capital UTT. Okay, so therefore this is going to become like, so this part is as it is, this part is as it is, so you are going to get UTT, so just divide by R power n minus 1 everywhere, so you are going to get UTT, this is going to be going that side, so it is going to become like n minus 1 by R into UR, yeah, UR, and then plus minus again, minus URR equal to 0. So that's what we want to prove. It's done already. Okay, so in order to obtain this one, we spend a lot of time today. So we started from spherical means and then we obtained this one. Now this problem you can solve it simply. Okay, so this problem you can solve it simply. So that part also I'll just highlight and then leave the class. See, this is now not n-dimensional equation. It is a one-dimensional wave equation, because UTT, this is R is a single variable. Okay, so therefore what you are going to get is that we are going to get a n-dimensional wave equation. We convert it into a one-dimensional wave equation in another coordinate called polar coordinate. Okay, so this is another identity. I just leave it to you. Now what we are going to do is that using this one, we are going to derive something called Kirchhoff formula. This Kirchhoff formula is going to deal that. I'll just highlight that, but we will derive it in the next class. For odd n, what you are going to get is that if it is an odd n, okay, this n is R power n. Okay, so this n can be odd or even. So now first we will deal with n equal to odd. Okay, once we solve the n equal to odd case, then we will extend it for the even case, because even case is a little tricky, so that you can't solve it straight away. What we'll do is that we will use the cases which you obtained from the odd case, and then we'll use that. So I'll just highlight and then leave it. So this is the equation you are going to solve it for the n equal to 3 case. Okay, so then what you will get is that similar kind of equation you are going to get it. So for that equation, I'm going to solve the equation, obtain the solution using D'Alembert's formula. Okay, this is the D'Alembert's formula we are getting, and then from that, what I will get the answers for this equation. Okay, for this equation, I'm going to get it. So that's what I'm going to discuss in the Kirchhoff formula. We'll see it in the next class. Okay, so that is going to solve this. This is going to be the general u of x comma t. I'll obtain it in this way. Okay, we'll solve this in the next class. Then later we will just extend this idea for n equal to even case. Okay, this is the n equal to odd case with conditions, etc. Now for n equal to even case, I will just use some other technique. What I will do is that I'll just skip one variable and then I will I will just add one more variable and then I will do it. So that part we'll do it in this part, odd and even part, we'll do it in the next class. Kirchhoff formula. Any questions? So there are 3 exercises here. So one of them will be at least for the exam. Okay. Okay. If any questions, let me know. Any questions? Okay. If not, thank you.